Okay, so I am doing the video on how we do the mental math for addition and subtraction, subtraction being a little bit more difficult. So the way we start is by knowing our factors. Okay, our factors of addition and subtraction for all of our numbers from 1 through 10, and what that looks like is this. It would be factors of 10, okay, and it would be 0 plus 10. So 0 and 10 are factors of 10. Then we have 1 plus 9, and these are pretty easy to write down because they're just going higher in this direction and they're going lower in this direction. So then this would be 2, and this would be 8. See, 10, 9, 8, 0, 1, 2. So there's going to be 3 plus 7. This one would be 4 plus 6. And the next one would be 5 plus 5. And then if we continue, then this would be 6 plus 4, which just repeats this up here. So we don't have to use that one. We already have all of our factors right here. Okay. So you have to know those. And then you also have to learn just all of them for every number. So the next number would be 9. So our factors of 9 would be 0 plus 9, 1 plus 8, 2 plus 7, 3 plus 6, 4 plus 5, and 5 plus 4. So see, these repeat, so we don't need this one. And these are all of our factors. Okay. Number 8, our factors would be 0 plus 8, 1 plus 7, 2 plus 6, 3 plus 5, 4 plus 4. And as you can see, it's going 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 on one side, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you do have to write them out the way I'm writing them out. A lot of kids will try to do this, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they'll do 8, 7, 6, 5. You cannot write them like this because this is how your mind will not learn it this way. So then you won't remember them together as sets. So you write them this way so that you can remember them as sets. And then these repeat. So we're done with this one. And these are all of our factors right here. Okay. And then we go on to number 7. And as you see, as the numbers decrease, there's less factors to write. And 1 plus 6, and 2 plus 5, 3 plus 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay. And then this one would be 4 plus 3. So it repeats. We don't need that one. These are our factors. Okay. Next one is 6. 6, 0 plus 6, 1 plus 5, 2 plus 4, 3 plus 3, and 4 plus 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So this repeats itself, so we're all done. And the reason we're done when it repeats is because it's just going to keep repeating the rest of them. So this would be 1, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? So then this one would also repeat. And it would just keep going. So once it repeats, repeats the numbers and just kind of changes the order of them, then you know that you've gotten all the factors. Okay. Then this is 5. And we have 5 plus 0, 5 plus 1. What am I doing? Sorry. Okay, now 5 plus. Okay, we're done with 6. So this is 5. This is 5 plus 0, and then it's 4 plus 1, and then it's 3 plus 2, and then it's 2 plus 3. It repeats itself. So then our factors are right here. See how it's getting less and less. So it's not that much to remember because everything starts to get less and less. So 1 plus 3, 2 plus 2, and then what does it do? Repeat itself. Okay, so these are our factors, and then 3 plus 1, 3 is 0, 3 plus 0, I'll do 3 plus 0, and I'll do, actually I had it the opposite, so I'll keep going in that same format. 0 plus 3, and then it's 1 plus 2, and then it's 2 plus 1. So those are all the factors. See how they repeat? So this one doesn't even count because it's the same one, but. And then 2 is just 0 plus 2 and 1 plus 1. Okay, and then that's really all of our factors. The other one just is 1 only has 1 plus 0. Okay, so then those are all of our factors. Those are factors that we just have to know. We have to write them down over and over, play with them. I have some worksheets that I can also post that will be worksheets that are just making a little number bond, which is something like this, like, you know, make a 9, and then I'll give you one number, so you have to know the other. Okay, so I'll give you the 3, you have to find out the 6. It'll have 7 right here, okay, so that we can figure out what the other number is. And if it has a 2, you have to figure out, oh wait, what's the other number that makes 7? And that's a 5. So then we put the 5 and fill in that number bond. So these are just little activities to get us working with our factors, but we have to know our factors because those are going to help us with our subtraction, our addition and our subtraction. But the subtraction seems to be the one that a lot of kids have issues with the most. So how are those 10 factors going to help us? Well, or not just 10 factors, but all of the factors. How will they help us? So they'll help us if we have something like 9 minus 7, because we don't have to think, we don't have to count up, we don't have to do tally marks. We just know that that's 2, because when we do our factors, okay, we know that it's 0 plus 7, 1 plus 6, and 2 plus, what's it called? Yeah, and 2 plus 5. So when we're doing all of these, okay, we're doing them, I did the wrong one, sorry. So we're doing the 9 factors, sorry. So when we're doing the 9 factors, we're doing 0 plus 9, okay? And this is what we're finding. We're finding this is our whole number, okay? So that's why we go to the 9s. And then this is a piece of that 9. And then the other number is going to be, these two right here are going to be the 2 numbers that make up 9. So we have 0 plus 9, we have 1 plus 8, okay? We have 2 plus 7. Okay, so see, we have 7 here, that's one piece, and we need the other piece. And we see 7 here, so we know that our other piece is 2. So if we just know that in our head because we've practiced enough with our factors that we just know, then we don't even have to think about a problem like this. We just solve it. So then if we have something that's like this, if we have 19 minus 7, then we can also just bring the 2 down and bring the 1 down because we know. Okay, if we have something like this, 12 minus 7, okay, this is where our 10 facts, knowing our 10 factors really works great because we'll take this and we always, when we're subtracting, when we're adding, we're either making a 10 or we're extracting a 10. Okay, so we know that 12 has at least one 10 in there. Okay, if you were to get $12, and you were trying to use, make $12 with some money, with some dollar bills, then you would, and I said use the highest dollar bills that you could to give me $12. Then you would give me a $10 bill, and you would give me 2 $1 bills. Okay, so 2 $1 bills. Okay. And that's how you would give me that 12. So over here, we can break it up into the $10 bill, which would be the 10, plus these 2 right here. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're just breaking up the 12 into 10 plus whatever else makes 12. Okay, and now that we have that 10, we can move the 7 over, the minus 7, and we can subtract from the 10, which makes it easier. Okay, because if you have something down here, like 10 minus 7, or 12 minus 7, which one is easier to subtract? This one is. Okay, because we know. And then when we know our 10 facts, okay, we know our 10 facts over here. So our 10 facts would be 10, it would be 0 plus 10, it would be 1 plus 9, it would be 2 plus 8, it would be 3 plus 7. Okay, we found the 7. You see, we're subtracting this 7 from the 10. So that's our first part. We look for, in our factors, we look for the first part, and then right next to it will be our second part. So our second part, if we look down here, will be the 3. Because 3 plus 7 equals 10. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. So we know that when we subtract that 7, it's going to give us the 3. Okay, then we bring the rest of this problem down, okay? Because we can't just leave it that way, because we broke this number up into 2 parts. It's the same thing as if you were going to go pay for something that you bought at the store, and it cost $7, but you only have 12. So what do? You give the cashier that $10 bill, okay? Because you can't give her the singles, because that's not going to give her the amount that you want to give her. Okay, you give her the $10 bill, that's easier than she gives you the 3 back. But you still have those $2 bills. They didn't just disappear. You still have those $2 bills, they're right here. So then you go and you take your change, this is your change, and you add it back to your stash that you have of $2. So then your answer is 5. Okay, I like to use money. I know that a lot of students may not know money yet, but this is a great way for the parents to understand, because I know that we didn't learn this this method. A lot of us didn't growing up. Okay, so I'm going to do another example with the subtraction. Okay, we have 16 minus, we'll do 9. How do we do that? Okay, we can do that with mental math by breaking this down in our minds. First, we do it on paper. We do it enough on paper that it becomes easy to do in our mind. So we know, in my mind, I would just say, okay, this is 10 plus 6. Okay, 10 plus 6. 16 is broken down into a $10 bill and 6 ones. Okay, and then I would go ahead and take the 9, move it over, take the 9 from the 10, and that would give me 1. And then I'd add my 6, okay, to that one, and I get 7. So I broke my money into 2 pieces. I took the 9 away from the 10, which gave me 1, and then I put all the money back together. So now I have 7. Let's do another one. 13 minus 8. Okay, we break it down. 10 plus 3. We subtract 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. And remember, we know this because we know our factors. We know that our factors are what? 0 plus 10, 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8. Okay? So we don't have to count. We don't have to use our fingers and say, count up 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's 2. No, we just know that because we know our factors. Okay? So we get our 2. So we took the 8 away from our $10 bill, but we still have these $3 left over here. So we need to add that to the change. That goes back into our wallet. Okay? So 2 plus 3. This is the $2 after we paid the 8. And this is adding it back to our wallet. And in our wallet, we still have 3. So that equals 5. Okay? Now, there's another thing. This is subtraction, but addition, there's another way to add numbers. And this is when we're doing the, let me write it back down here. But when we are doing subtraction, we are extracting the 10. See, 10 plus 2. So we're taking this 10 out of the 12. Okay? We're taking it out so that we can subtract that 7 from it. And it makes it easier to do. So this becomes a 3, and then we add those 2 here. Bring those down, add them, this is 5. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're extracting a 10. But sometimes when we're adding, let's say something like 9 plus 4, we don't have a 10. 9 doesn't include a 10, so we can't really add to a 10. So we have to create a 10. So in these moments where you always try to make the bigger number a 10. So the bigger number right now is the 9. Okay? And because we know our factors, we know that 1 plus 9 is going to give us 10. So 1 plus 9 gives us 10. Okay? We know that. We have our 9 here. We need the 1. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a 10 by taking a 1 from the 4. The 4 is going to turn into 1 plus 3 because we know the factors of 4. And we know if we take 1 away from the 4 to give it to the 9, then we're going to have to break it down into 1 plus 3 to make that equal 4. So we break it down into 1 plus 3, 1 because we need that 1 to give it to the 9, 3 because that's the other factor that goes with 1 to make 4. Okay? So we go ahead and take this, give it to the 9, that gives us 10. 10, and then we bring this down like we did before, plus 3, because we're putting it all back together. So 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay, I'll do more of those because those can be a little bit more confusing because you have to know 2 sets of factors. So here we know the 4s, and we also have to know our 10s. So we have to know 2 sets of factors. These are for our 4s, this is for our 10s. But this is why knowing our factors really comes in handy when we're adding and subtracting. Let's do another one. 8 plus 6. Okay, 8 plus 6. You know that 6 breaks down. You can break 6 down, and we know that 8 is our big number first of all. Okay, so number one, biggest number. Okay, number 1, biggest number, and that's this guy. Okay, 8. Number 2, step number 2. How many more to make 10? How many? Many more. How many more make a 10? Okay, how many more make a 10? That's our next step. So if we have 8, we need to, it's 8 plus 2. Those are our factors for a 10. Okay, so we have the 8 here, we need that 2. If we get 2 more added to 8, we're going to get our 10. So we take that from the 6. We say, hey, just like when we're, borrowing, hey, do you have any, when I always do the subtraction and you're taking from the next group of numbers so that you can subtract, you're borrowing. It's the same thing here. You're borrowing from the 6 so you can give it to the 8 and make that 10 because it just makes it easier. But you're breaking the 6 down into 2. The 2 is to give to the 8 to make the 10, but also 2 plus what? Because 6 doesn't just turn into 2, right? We have to find the factors of 6. And that factor is going to be 2 plus 4, because 2 plus 4 equals 6. So we take that 2, give it to the 8. That becomes a 10. We bring down the plus 4. Remember, the 6 we don't do anything with because we already broke that down into 2 plus 4. So that's already done. Okay, now we have 10 plus 4, and that is 14. See how much easier this is to add? It's easier to add that than to add 8 plus 6. So we make a 10, we add the rest of it, and we get 14. Okay, next one. 7 plus 6. Okay, 7 plus 6. What do we do? How many more do we need to get to 7? We know that the factors of 10, let's just put them over here, okay, is 0 plus 10, 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8, and 3 plus 7. Okay, so I just went down until we got to the 7. Okay, so this is what we have. We have 7 right here, and that's the largest number in our problem. So we are trying to make that one into a 10. Remember, since it's a small number and it's addition, we are not extracting the 10 like we do from subtraction. We're just creating a 10. We're going to make one here. Okay, so when we're making a 10, we come here and we look at our factors. 3 plus 7 equals 10. So how many more do we add to 7 to make the 10? We add 3 because that's the other factor. So we need 3 from the 6. So we are going to take that 3 away. But when we break 6 down into two numbers, they have to add up to 6. So one of them has to be 3. And when we know our 6 factors, we know that one of those is 3 plus 3. Okay, so 3 plus 3 gives us 6. So we have 1 3. We add our other 3 here. Okay, we're just breaking this down into the number that we need to give to 7 so it can be a 10, which is right here. Okay, and then whatever else we add to it to make sure it equals 6. Okay, now we take this 3, give it to the 7, and we make our 10 like we wanted to. And now we bring down our plus 3. And that is 13. Okay. So, as you guys are doing this, okay, just remember, it was lagging a little bit. Okay, so just remember as you guys are doing this, that this takes practice, okay? It might seem confusing now. Oh, why is it? Okay. It might seem confusing now, but it really is just a practice makes perfect type of thing. What I would work on first is writing down all of your factors from 10 on down. Put 0 plus 10, 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8. Because really writing them, it's not a fun way to learn it, but it is an effective way to learn them. But I will also post some worksheets that can help you guys do these number bonds, right? So there'll be something like this, and that way kids can practice that as well, which will say something like 8, and then you have to find the other number that you add to 8 to make the 10, and it's this 2. Okay, and then you just have to fill in one part of the number bond. It might even give you something like this, where there's 2 numbers on the bottom. Okay, and then you have to fill up the top. So it's just to play with the factors so you guys can really learn them and memorize them. They're not a lot of factors to memorize. They really are. If you just work with them a little bit, you will get them. So some of them might be a little harder than others, but for the most part, it's pretty simple, especially if you are thinking, you know, if you're just writing them down like this and just practicing that way, you really will start to memorize and learn them. And then that way, when you get to this part, this just comes in your mind. Because, for example, if I have something like 12 minus 7, I just automatically, I don't have to do all that work on the side because I've done these so many times that I just see it. See, because this is the place value. These are your 1s and these are your 10s. So you just automatically take the 7 from the 10, and that gives you a 3, and then you add the 2, and that gives you a 5. I just do that now in my mind, and you guys can do that as well. You really can. You can, because you'll know your factors of 5, so you'll know, and you'll know factors of 10, so you'll know that 7 minus this 10, and you'll know that these break down into standardized notation, breaks down to 10 plus 2. And because you'll just learn all of these little things, the breakdown of the numbers, the subtracting from 10, okay, the factors of 10, the factors of 5, then it really will just all come together. And for now, I just try this one, try writing down your factors. Okay, start from 10, go all the way down to 2, and just put 0 plus 10, 1 plus 9, until you get all of the factors listed. Do that from 10 all the way to 2. And then, when you're done with that, then try these. Just try them. Give them a shot. Something like 13, and whatever you're subtracting, make sure it's more than this number. So 13 minus 4. You know, if you do minus 2, it's easy. Okay, you don't need to do that way, because you don't need to do the 10 way, because that's too easy. But if you do a number higher, any number higher than that 3, then that's when it comes in handy to break it apart. Break it apart. 10 plus 3, 13 equals 10 plus 3. We got our 10 extracted. We subtract that 4 from it, and that gives us our 6, because we know that 6 and 4 are factors of 10. We bring down our plus 3, and we know that this is 9. Okay? So try those, and then the addition ones you can try are things like 9 plus 7. Okay, how many more do we need to make this 9 a 10? Now we're making a 10. So we need 1. 1 plus 9 is going to give us our 10. So we're breaking the 7 down into 1 plus 6, because we know our factors. We know that 1 plus 6 equals 7. We know our factors. Okay, so now we have these two. These become a 10, and we bring down our plus 6. So this is 16. Okay. 6 plus 5. Okay. The same thing. We need to make this a 10. We know that in order to make 6 a 10, we need a 4. So we break this down into 4 plus 1. These equal 10 plus 1. We bring that down. This is 11. So if you guys do enough of these, I'll post some worksheets this week so you guys can start practicing this. But that basically is, if you know these things, if you know the factors, your addition and subtraction, just basic factors of 1 through 10, just, you know, which numbers add up to 10, okay? From 10 all the way down to 2. If you have all of the numbers that add up to 10, all of the numbers that add up to equal 9, all of the numbers that add up to equal 8, you know those, and you learn those because you practice them. And then you practice subtracting from a 10 and making it a 10 so that you can add. Then you will learn this, and you will never use your fingers to do basic addition and subtraction ever again. And that is my hope for you guys with this video. So I will be posting some worksheets on the Slack channel that you guys can try and work on. But for now, I really recommend just writing down your factors. You know, it's not a lot of work. It's just, you know, again, 0 plus 10. Okay, you start with 0 and 10 and just keep going all the way down until the numbers interchange and repeat themselves. And then do that for every single number, for 9, for 8, you know, 10 and under. And just practice those for now, and those will help you later to solve the worksheets that I'll post. Alright, you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Sorry for the delay in the video, but I hope it's helpful. Thanks.